Rick is a person that don't brag about what I've done and where I've been.
I think Rick's priorities as senator for Texas will be to listen to the people of Texas, to bring back the people's voice to Washington.
I've always told him, I said, you know, Rick, I don't want you to ever forget where you come from or where your roots are.
I've known Rick since the school year 1966-67. He was one of my third grade students. He was a very bright student, would drive me insane.
He was a little leader all the way through. He went to Alvin Junior College on a baseball scholarship. He went on the ROTC scholarship to University of Houston. He got his degree, and the first thing he did, he came and told me, he says, "Here, Mom, this is for you."
When Rick got his acceptance at Harvard, it's like, wow.
I knew Rick had talent, I knew he had honesty, and so when I would see Rick, he would be serious about doing things for people, being a humanitarian. And I said, Rick, whenever you decide to make that move, put me on your team. I believe in you.
Rick thinks of himself as a public servant. You know, this is a calling for us. This is our ministry. This is what we do. In the Texas legislature, the only thing you really have is your word. You go in there and you tell the truth. You let people know what you're going to do, and you do it.
We have this little group of politicians over here. We have this little group of politicians over here. And Rick with all of them. Rick is trying to build relationships, not to tear them down. And when you build relationships like that, you can get things done.
It was Memorial Day weekend, and it was a Friday afternoon. Rick was watching TV, and I picked the phone up and I said, Rick, it's Sergeant Gaitan, and it's important.
He told me that he was being deployed, going to Afghanistan, and his dad and I, we just prayed about it and gave him our blessings, and just told him to be careful.
The colonel came forward and said, is anyone here volunteering for Afghanistan? And Rick and I both looked at each other and said, we volunteered many years ago to serve our country, so if it's our time, it's our time.
I had a chance to stand in for him in the Texas House, and I wanted to do a good enough job that he didn't feel like he had to worry about it. I didn't want him distracted for a minute.
We were in Afghanistan for 12 months. I don't think that any briefings could prepare you for what you actually saw. My favorite thing about Rick is that he's there for you.
You can trust him. Texas, you can trust Rick Noriega.
His #1 priority will be Texas.
He's going to be more for we the people than the special interest groups.
Rick has your back.
Rick Noriega, a lifetime of Texas service, a record of Texas leadership, a senator for Texas families, for a change.